And now, therefore, I, Joe Reardon, Mayor, CEO of the Unified Government of Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim April 2007 as the Big Read Month in Wyandotte County, Kansas City, Kansas. I encourage all residents to visit the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library and Bonner Springs Library. I call upon public officials and all citizens to observe this month with appropriate ceremonies, activities, and programs, which I'm sure we will all do. And I set the seal of the city and sign this proclamation this morning, and I'm glad to present it here today at this event to kick things off. Thank you all very much.
You know, it's sad in a lot of ways, but ultimately I find it very encouraging and very inspirational because, I mean, it was because of people like this and partly because of this book even, that we have a 40-hour week now and get weekends off and aren't treated like the Joes were treated.
My Aunt Shirley was her family were itinerant farmers, and they lived in their cars, and they drove to California to pick peaches every year, and then she lived that, and so that was very fascinating for me.
We're going to California, ain't we? All right then, let's go to California.
Ross, what a load! We ain't making no time on this trip.
66 is the path of a people in flight. Refugees from dust and shrinking land, from the thunder of tractors, from the twisting winds that howl up out of Texas, from the floods and the twisting winds. From all of these, the people are in flight. They come into 66 from the tributary side roads, from the wagon tracks, from the rutted country roads. 66 is the mother road, the mad flight.
And I remember a lot of things about the Depression, and I hope that you do too. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. And those handouts I gave you, I typed those up on the computer because I thought a lot of them were words that might bring back memories to you and that might make you reminisce and think about those times. What special things do you recall about your home you lived in?
Oh, mine, how big it was, and my dad had built it.
That is a good memory.
How cold it was in the wintertime.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. How many of you ever took a hot brick to bed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. How many of you remember hobos and tramps
Oh, I do.
during the Depression? Oh, yes.
I remember my mother having so many of them stop by, and she always had them sit at the back porch, and she always fed them. I don't care if it was maybe just some biscuits left over from breakfast. She never turned one away.
I was born at my grandmother's house, February 17th, 1931, in North Platte, Nebraska. In the summertime, my mother would get up at about 4 o'clock, and they'd deliver milk. They worked a lot of long hours. There was a bakery in town that I can't remember how many you had to have, but if you bought their bread and you gathered so many bread wrappers, you could get into the show free. And so we ate a lot of their bread and went to the show.
Chapter 1. To the red country and part of the gray country of Oklahoma, the last rains came gently, and they did not cut the scars.
You ain't ashamed of nothing then? No, said Joe, I ain't. I got 7 years of counting, but I had a knife.
He was a part of the monster, a robot in the seat. The thunder of the cylinders sounded.
He reached down, picked up his sack, and emptied it out on the porch. 2 cottontails.
First and only thing I got to think about is my own folks, he says. What happens to other folks?
What's he know? He's just a squirt, said Tom.
He worked for a company.
And since old Tom and the children could not know hurt or fear unless she acknowledged
You know what that is?
fear.
That's the stove. And clothes. Take all the clothes. And the rifle? We wouldn't go out naked of a rifle. When shoes and clothes and food, when even hope is gone, we'll have the rifle. When Grandpa came.
Do you know what the Charleston is?
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
Well,
It looks like footwork.
I'm too old, but I'll show you. We do like this, and do like this, and do like this.
It's like you're jiggy with me.
That's the beginning of what you do now.